What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we got a little bit different video. I'm actually going to be reviewing this Redline Equinox here. And I also apologize for any wind noise. I kind of tried parking under all these trees here, hopefully kind of get out of the wind, but I'm sure a little bit will come through. So anyways, let's get into the video here. This here is my girlfriend's car, actually. And it's a 2019 Equinox Redline Edition. So the Redline Edition, what that is it gets you like a blacked out front end. So this whole front fascia here is black along with the back. You get the black mirrors and you get these cool badges on the front and the back that have the black front with the red back. And then you get these Redline wheels that have the stripe on it. So I'll give you a quick walk around here around the car. It's a pretty sharp looking car with all the black bow ties and everything. Black badge there. Another Equinox badge there. But yeah, it's a pretty sharp looking car. Like I said, it's my girlfriend's car, so I've actually been able to drive it for the last year. So I kind of wanted this to be a little more of a review after a year, not necessarily feature video. There's a few videos out there that are more like feature videos. So yeah, I just want to talk about kind of my experiences with it. So to start off, obviously the outside looks pretty sharp as you kind of walk around. We've got a lot of compliments on it, and for being an Equinox, like, this is a pretty good looking car. Like, it almost looks like a completely different car than a regular Equinox, because sure, you hear me say Equinox, you're like, oh, like, you know, that's just a little SUV, like, that's not that cool of a car. But this actually is a pretty good looking car. Address some of the features that this car has, just so you have a good understanding and might see why I would like this particular car over like a standard Equinox. Start off, obviously, I just talked about all the Redline stuff is really nice. The interior is also pretty nice on this car. Nice, I mean, for 2019, you know, you expect it to be a little bit cleaner. Nice dark seats, decent screen, newer gauge, all that stuff. Back seat is actually pretty sizable. Very comfortably can sit, you know, 6 foot plus person in there. I'm 5'10", and I'm perfectly comfortable in there, no issue whatsoever. The seats are nice and comfortable. They are the cloth ones, not the leather. But like, I don't know if you can tell there, but it's super tightly like woven, so it's very like dirt resistant. So it's not like the old style, and they are very, very comfortable. Like, I'm not lying to you, they're really they're surprisingly comfortable. Other features about this car, obviously it's got the vents there, some USB chargers, and then down here hidden, it's kind of hard to see here, there's actually a 120 120 volt regular outlet down there. It's kind of hard to see, it's a little bit dark in here, but yeah, and it works. We've used it for little things like charging a laptop and stuff, and it works just fine. But come on to the back here, typical features of the newer car. You just got the button and it just kind of opens up for you and whatnot. Decent sized back, you know, kind of get a good idea. Seats do fold down too, and the new Equinoxes are pretty cool because they have these little pull things here that you can actually pull these, and the seats go down from the back. So if you get to a situation where you need a low start in the back and you're like, oh, I don't want to have to go open each door, blah blah, you just pull those bad boys. And another thing is this has like a very large compartment underneath here as well. You can kind of see it goes pretty deep in there, a lot of space in there to put stuff. And then obviously your spare tires located underneath here. It is just a donut, not a full size. But yeah, that's kind of the back in there. It's got your typical struts here, and then there's your little button, you press that. It does have a knob on here on the door that can control the height of that back gate. So say you're in a garage, you can turn it so it only lifts 3/4 of the way up, or you can turn it so it doesn't lift up at all. And then that's also a button to lift it. But yeah, that's the gate there. Not too much other interesting things, there's little umbrella holders in the door here. There's like a little pocket back there. Just found that out. There's one in each front door. Thought that was pretty cool. Don't know why you need that, but I mean, it's a pretty neat little spot to make use of the door panel there. But no, it's a pretty sporty looking car. I really enjoyed driving it. This one in particular has the 2.0 turbo, so I can actually pop the hood and give you a little peek at that. So this is the 2.0 turbo. Not much to see here, of course, is a factory engine bay. However, this car actually sounds really good. Like, you're not gonna believe me, but the car, like, it's got a really good sounding exhaust. I'll give you a start up here in a sec, and then I'll probably not. It's the turbo whistles a lot too. Like when you're driving and you kind of lean into it pretty good, you can really hear the turbo whistle. And my phone's not gonna pick it up on video, but you have to trust me that it does. You can't hear the whoosh, like kind of sound, and it actually sounds really cool. So that's kind of why we're halfway looking to get a cooler intake for this. However, I have not seen online where anyone's making any for the 2019s yet, so kind of waiting on that. We'd also like to get an exhaust for it as well, because you'll see here in the back, it does have a pretty cool exhaust with the dual tailpipes, because I don't know what option that is. I don't know if that comes to the 2.0 or what it is, but if you look at a lot of the other Equinoxes, they don't have the tip. They just have like the typical little muffler pipe that just kind of sticks down, punch at the ground. And so that's, I don't know, this is like one of few I've actually seen with that. I don't know, so I'm not 100% which option that is, but no, it's actually, the car actually moves pretty good too. These 2.0 turbos have 275 horsepower, and I forget the torque, but I'm pretty sure it's right around there as well. So I mean, it moves pretty good considering the car, I think, weighs 3,000 pounds or somewhere in there. Like, it's made 3,200 pounds, I think it weighs, so it's not very heavy at all. And so 275 horsepower, only weighing around 3,000 pounds, it moves quite well. This car is actually very enjoyable to drive. It's really sporty. I mean, I'm used to driving a pickup truck, so driving a little bit smaller car, and especially something that's got not a lot of horsepower, but decent amount of horsepower, to move it around pretty good. It drives really nice. And this is the all-wheel drive version and the two-wheel drive version. And when you have it in two-wheel drive, it can squeal the tires pretty easily, like just sitting from a stop and getting her gas real hard and even rolling. The other day I was driving it and I was rolling and I going 15-20 miles an hour, and then I kind of hammered it and I squealed the tires a little bit, and I was pretty impressed. I mean, it definitely has a pretty good amount of power, and it does really sound good. Like the exhaust and you hear a little bit of the turbo spool up, the whooshing sound. And I'm quite impressed. It does sound really good, and it's a really enjoyable car to drive. Kind of getting more into my experience kind of driving the car now, obviously, but we've had zero issues with the car, as you would expect. 2019 car, it's got 11,000 miles on it. Obviously no issues whatsoever. I hate to bring that up because it's like, of course it's a new car, why would it have issues? But like, you know how stuff is nowadays, especially with newer stuff, especially with this being like the newer generation from 2018 to 2019, they completely switched up the Equinoxes as far as styling and all that stuff is a major update for them. So sometimes in those beginning years, you do have some problems with stuff being they didn't have quite everything figured out, but we've had zero issues yet whatsoever. It literally has been an awesome car. It's super fun to drive. It's great on road trips. It's super comfortable. I mean, it's a really awesome car. I'm really pleased with it. Trying to think about things I forgot to mention about it, but I mean, it's been a really, I don't think I have anything to complain about. Actually, now that I think about it, I have one thing to complain about. The only thing I don't like, which it's not just this car, but a lot of new cars have this, is the whole stop-start feature. I'm impressed with how good it is as far as you come up to a stoplight and you get on the gas and it shuts off, and it's pretty quick to turn back on. Like, I mean, it's as far as like, you got on the brake and then you hit your foot on the gas, it turns on pretty good. I just think it's a silly feature. It's a little four-cylinder. When it's idling, I don't think you're really not saving that much gas to where it'd be worth it. I mean, if you're like, if you're sitting with your foot on the brake for more than like a minute, like, you know, it's, I don't know, it's just, to me, I think it's kind of goofy. I don't know if I would like it, because the thing is though, is because when you stop and then you let off and then get back on the brake, after the engine restarts, it doesn't turn right back off, so it's not turning back on and off. So if you already, so it kind of completely defeats the purpose. I don't know, it's just, I just don't think it's a good thing. I mean, it's gonna be hard on the starter, that every time it, you know, comes to a complete stop after driving and wants to turn off and turn back on. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't know how to turn it off. I know you can turn it off on some cars. I don't know how to turn it off on the Equinox. Maybe that's something that's out there and I just don't know how to do it. But I don't know. That thing's kind of goofy. But yeah, this does have a trailering package too. I forgot to mention that earlier. Come around here, you got the little cover on the back where you pop this bad boy off, and there's a little trailer hitch right down there. It's only made to like tow like 3,500 pounds, which, I mean, we're not gonna be towing with this. I have my truck, so, but I'm sure it would tow all right if you're towing a tiny little trailer. But I mean, that's obviously not what the car's for. It's made to be an SUV. It's made to, you know, have a full back seat and be able to put stuff and whatnot. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's been a really awesome car, and I've got nothing bad to say about it. I mean, gloss black wheels and all the red stuff. I mean, it really is a sharp looking car. I'm quite impressed with it. We've got a lot of compliments on it, which is crazy that it's like an Equinox. You know, you think of an Equinox and you're thinking, especially the older models, you're like, you know, that's not a cool car. That's a boring looking car. But this one it looks good. I mean, that's a good looking front end up there with all the black, and they actually see the intercooler poking out down there a little bit. I mean, it's pretty cool. I must say, I'm quite impressed with it. Another thing too is it does have a roof rack mount on it, as you can see around there. Ours didn't come with it. We're not gonna put it on there. Obviously, it looks pretty sleek without it, so we're not gonna do that. As far as mods coming, it's not completely stock now. We're thinking about getting a colder intake for it, but like I said, we couldn't find one. We'd like to get an exhaust too, because I'll get you guys some cold start, some revs here. It sounds pretty good, but could use a little more volume, and then it would be real good. So it takes 91 or premium gas. If you can't run on 87, you can, but it says right there on the fuel cap that 93 recommended, and it definitely runs better with 93. You just like any car, you know, it's improvements to 93, but with this, with the turbo, with the forced induction, it really enjoys the 93 a lot better, and you can tell the car's happy, it's peppy, and yeah, it's just recommended, and we don't even waste our time putting 87 in it. We just do straight up 91, 93, whatever we have around us. But yeah, I think that's about it. Really nice car, pretty solid interior. Nothing crazy, but it's definitely nice and clean and black, and it's just sleek looking. But yeah, let's get to some cold starts and some revs. As you can see, it sounds pretty good. That actually wasn't like a cold start, just a you know, a little bit warm start. I had it sitting here for a little bit, but obviously I drove it out here. This car does have the, get that door closed just because beeping. It does have the remote start, that's why it's beeping at me and making all kinds of noise. It's got the whole thing, and I got the key outside, so it's upset with me right now. So I throw that bad boy in there. But yeah, it's pretty nice car. I would highly recommend them to anyone looking to buy one. I mean, zero issues. It's sporty. It's not crazy sporty, but like it's a solid SUV, and I would highly recommend them, as we've had no issues and it's been super fun to drive. So that's going to be my review on the 2019 Equinox. If I missed over something and whatever, and you saw something I didn't mention, let me know in the comments, and I'll address this. You know, it's my girlfriend's car, so I got easy access to it and can definitely answer questions. But super awesome car. Would recommend it after put 11,000 miles on it, and I don't have really much negative to say about it. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. Sorry about the slow upload. I'm gonna be getting into the uploading again here, but yeah, that's all I got for you. So thanks y'all for stopping by, and I'll catch you next time.